such wickedness. Here is my judgment.
Mercy, please! Mercy, please! Ah! Mercy, please! Mercy, please! Mercy!
Grace, I want to marry you. Tomorrow, if you wish. To me, you're already the most beautiful woman in the world. Take all the time you need. I will be here. I will always be here.
By command of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, let every healer, herbalist, and keeper of sacred knowledge present themselves at once to the palace gate. Here is my judgment.
This was done with great cruelty and great knowledge of dark medicine. Does that mean it cannot be reversed? Will I always look like a monster?
Please, Your Majesty, I was afraid of my mother. Silence! The king's hand rose. Fear does not excuse complicity. You watched your mother's cruelty every single day. You enjoyed the fruits of your stepsister's suffering. You wore fine clothes while she wore rags. You ate good food while she ate scraps. You slept in comfort while she slept in pain. And never once, not once, did you speak up for her. Rita sobbed harder, but the king showed no mercy. You had a tongue, you had a conscience, you could have told someone, anyone, but you chose silence because it benefited you. The crowd began to whisper. Some nodded, others shook their heads in disgust. The king stood up from his throne, and the entire hall fell silent. Here is my judgment, he declared, his voice carrying to every corner of the room. For 10 years, you will serve this village as public servants. Douglas gasped. Rita cried out, "No, please!" You will live in the servant quarters at the edge of the market. Every morning you will report to the village square, and any villager, man, woman, or child may assign you work. You will fetch water, tend animals, clean compounds, wash clothes, cook food, sweep streets. The very tasks you forced upon Grace, you will now perform for everyone. Douglas's face went pale. You will receive no payment, the king said firmly. You will wear only simple cloth. You are forbidden from leaving the village, from marriage, from owning property, or from receiving gifts of any kind. Any refusal to work, any complaint, any sign of the pride you once carried will result in 10 lashes in the public square, and trust me, the villagers will be watching. The king leaned forward, his eyes blazing. Perhaps in 10 years of hard labor and humility, you will learn what Grace already knew, that true nobility lies not in beauty or status, but in how we treat those who cannot fight back. The guards stepped forward and dragged Douglas and Rita away. Their cries echoed through the hall, but no one pitied them. The villagers who had once feared Douglas now looked at her with contempt. The same Rita who had mocked others now stumbled in chains. Grace stood quietly beside the prince, watching them go. She felt no joy in their punishment, only a quiet sadness for the years that were stolen from her, and a deep relief that it was finally over. That evening, as the sun set and painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, Prince Emeka came to Grace's chamber. "Grace," the prince said, walking toward her, "may I sit with you?" "Of course, my prince." They sat together on the bench near the window. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then the prince took her hand gently. "Grace, I want to marry you. Tomorrow, if you wish. The kingdom is ready. The priests are prepared. My father has given my blessing. I don't care about the scars on your face. I never did. To me, you are already the most beautiful woman in the world." Grace looked down at their joined hands. Her heart swelled with gratitude and love for this man who had seen past her mask, past her scars, past everything the world used to judge her. But she also felt something else, a deep need within herself. Her voice was soft but steady when she spoke. "My prince, I am deeply honored, truly. You have given me more than I ever dreamed possible. But please, I ask one favor of you." "Anything," he said immediately. "Name it and it is yours." Grace lifted her head and looked into his eyes. "Let me wait until my true face returns." The prince's brow furrowed with concern. Grace, I told you, I don't care about... I know you don't, she interrupted gently, and I am grateful, but this is not about you, my prince. It is about me. She touched her scarred cheek, her fingers tracing the rough, damaged skin. For so many years, I hid behind that mask. I forgot what I looked like. I forgot who I was. Douglas told me I was a monster, and after a while, I believed her. I stopped looking at my reflection. I stopped seeing myself as a person. Tears filled her eyes. Now I am free. The mask is gone. But when I look in the mirror, I still see what Douglas created, not who I truly am. I need to see my real face again. I need to remember myself, to recognize myself before I can fully become your wife.
The prince was quiet for a long moment. Then he reached up and gently wiped away her tears. I understand, he said softly. You are not just healing your face, Grace. You are healing your heart. She nodded, fresh tears spilling over. Then we will wait, the prince said firmly. Take all the time you need. I will be here. I will always be here. Grace smiled softly, overwhelmed with gratitude. Thank you. The very next day, Prince Emeka summoned the greatest healers in the entire land. Royal messengers rode out in every direction, calling for anyone with knowledge of medicine, herbs, and healing. They came from far and wide. A medicine man arrived from the eastern mountains, carrying roots that only grew in the highest peaks. An herbalist came from the southern forests with oils pressed from rare flowers. A wise woman who had studied healing for 50 years traveled from the western plains, her bag filled with mysterious powders and salves. They all gathered in the palace, and one by one, they examined Grace's face. The wise woman studied the scars carefully, running her wrinkled fingers gently over Grace's skin. She smelled the damaged areas. She asked Grace questions about how the injury happened and what was applied to it afterward. Finally, she straightened up and shook her head slowly. This is powerful poison, she said, her voice grave. Whoever did this wanted the damage to be permanent. They did not want it to heal. This was done with great cruelty and great knowledge of dark medicine. Grace's heart sank. Does that mean it cannot be reversed?